We don't have the gavel.
Gotta have a meeting like that. It's just not official.
I don't have it. I can use my shoe. I can use my. Okay. All right. Well, we'll just improvise.
You're supposed to throw a shoe in an official.
Okay.
Ah.
Thank you. Okay. Good evening. I'd like to call to order the City of Ojai Parks and Recreation Commission meeting for Thursday, December 5th, 6 p.m. We have a special guest this evening. Would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, Ms. Taylor? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call.
Marguerite Comerford.
Absent.
Marguerite Comerford is absent. Raquel Duenas.
Duenas present.
Ryan Firestone.
Yep.
Sage Intner is absent. Eric Jacobson.
Present.
Patrick Murphy will be here soon. And Susie Taylor.
Present. Thank you. Do we have any public comments on items not otherwise on the agenda? Presentations. I don't see that we have our representative from the police department, so perhaps we can table that till later in the meeting.
Do we expect somebody from the police
We
department?
do.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
And perhaps the same with number 6, the Public Works Communications. I don't see anybody here to provide a oral presentation on that.
Crickets.
Have you all had an opportunity to review the September 5th, 2019 and November 7th, 2019 minute meetings?
Yes, I have.
Meeting minutes? Any discussion?
I had a comment on the November 7th minutes for item 8, the action item, the second motion, the wording of it. I'll just read it. The Parks and Recreation Commission is not able to make a recommendation due to concerns that the Advocacy Coalition does not provide benefits to the Ojai community. I don't know if those were the words we picked, but it doesn't say what we can't make a recommendation on. Like, I think it should say
On the fee waiver?
on the fee waiver for the Advocacy Coalition. due
That
to
is
concern.
specifically what was said.
Okay.
And then the person who did the minutes went back and then heard the recording again. And then we also sent it to Sage to look at.
Okay,
Okay.
so we'll have to leave it as is unless we want to amend that motion.
I don't think we can do that, but it's probably, I don't know what the process is for this, but including a note somewhere to kind of clarify what we meant would be helpful. And maybe that's Renee, just you
It's
communicating. to-
perhaps included in the staff report, so it has you're right, so they probably have a general understanding of what we were
Yeah, I think as
talking
long
about.
as
Okay.
you understand.
Yeah, it's on the council agenda for next Tuesday.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Okay, a couple of discussion items on the agenda.
September 5th now. We have the.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I said, I announced
That's
both.
okay.
You want a separate motion for each one? Okay. May I have a motion on the November 7th, 2019 regular meeting minutes?
I'll move to approve those minutes.
Thank you. Do you have a second? Great, thank you. Okay, number 8, discussion items. Item A, recreation manager goals.
So this had
Okay.
come out on our slideshow. This was just briefly summarized on a slideshow that we did with our joint meeting with council. And this is just a copy of what was on the slide.
Thank you.
And basically, these managers' goals, they're department goals. And as it says, in order to ensure a continued high quality of service and ongoing review of operations, policies, and procedures will be valuable in assessing and rectifying gaps in service. As we move towards forward into the next year, into the next fiscal year, we will continue to look at ways to be innovative and inspire as we put processes in place to ensure a continual high quality of service. So the goals are based on the 2018-19 adopted budget and evaluations. Some of them are being brought back, and some of them are new, and others we've already actually accomplished. So I can briefly go through them if you'd like. Yes?
That'd be great.
Yeah, and are these, sorry, just a little background. Are these goals that you put together, or are these, okay?
The first one just says that the Ojai Recreation Department will continue encouraging and fostering partnerships with community and youth agencies that will strengthen collaboration efforts in order to provide affordable, quality, and safe environment and programs for individuals of all ages. And we've already started doing that. And there's another goal on the bottom, number 9, that says to create a monthly senior trip program and possibly partner with the help of Ojai. And we've already done that with our first senior trip coming up. I believe it's in March, and it's to Los Olivos and a winery, and they are not doing trips right now, so they are very excited to partner in with us and help advertise it. And the same, we usually advertise Help of Ojai as well, and we moved them to a different page of the program, so it's near the senior activity, near the adult activities. So that number 9 goes along with number 1. And then number 2, through the department manager, certify regular full-time and part-time staff in CPR and AED. We just want to make sure everybody has it within 3 months of employment.
And
Currently, right
first
now,
aid?
our camp staff has it, but our camp staff has first aid and CPR, but the office, it's important to have CPR AED because it goes along with the AED. You're somebody at all times, one person at all times in a facility, if if an AED is present, has to be certified in CPR AED.
How many AEDs do we have on
Just
the property?
one
Just one.
at the center. It's actually at the gymnasium.
And who's in charge of monitoring that each month?
Allison does the records
The
for
checks.
it. Yeah, she checks to make sure the batteries and the pads are up to date, and yeah. So,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So on item 2, it's something we discussed a couple of years ago, was kind of who was certified, kind of. And I think one of the potential gaps is with contractors, where it's not a requirement, but in some cases, like they're not around, like it's not something on the rec center grounds. I think it'd be good just to keep in mind like that situation and just understand who is and who isn't certified among the contractors.
we could start off by, actually, I've already invited a couple. We can invite all the contractors when we do the summer training for the camp counselors. And when we do that, I mean, they're welcome to come,
Right.
and
Really should be
they'll
part of
have to
their
pay for their
contract, yeah.
certification, which is only like $28, American Red Cross, or $29. But yeah, that's a good idea. We can invite all the contractors to our bake training if they'd like to come.
And when you say contractors, you're referring to like a camp person who's maybe hosting a hiking camp, day camp type,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Right.
Or a
Right,
horseback
like
riding.
cupcake
Right.
camp,
Okay.
cooking
Okay.
camp,
Okay.
soccer camp, stuff
Someone
like
in
that.
a leadership role that isn't an employee.
Right.
Right.
And we're also going to be implementing that they go through concussion training. anybody dealing with sports, and that's our independent contractors as well. And that's pretty easy to do because Center for Disease Control, the CDC, has an online program. Takes like 45 minutes to take it, but it's free, and you get a certification when you complete it. And it's very informative. Really help them to understand what concussions are all about and what to look for, and it's a good training.
Out of curiosity, because like I took the staff training, does everyone have the AED certification? That's not the right word.
There's
But-
only
certification. There we go.
there's only two people out of everybody
Yeah.
working in the
So it was a
gymnasium and
separate
staff
class.
that are not current. Everybody else is good.
Oh, okay. So it's all one shebang. It was all one class, or is it a separate class?
No, it's just one CPR. It's adult CPR AED.
I think she means, is it offered once a year? Is that what you're saying?
No, like is the class itself? Because like in the class when we all had to take it for all the counselors and everything, I was part of the class. I was just wondering, like, is
Yeah.
everyone in that room were they certified, or
Yes.
is it a separate thing?
I was not there during, but I asked for a report on how many people were currently certified and not. And
Okay.
I would like to have everybody certified so that, again, one person at all times
Yeah.
is certified.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you so much. Megan, you just, sorry. Thank you, thank you. The next one, actually, the next one was concussion training. So number 4 is to maintain involvement with Park and Recreation Youth Ad Hoc Committee Council. By a continued support of recreation staff at meetings and involvement with joint ventures, focusing on career development and making a difference for youth in the city. So I believe we're meeting next week, Sage, myself, and Raquel, and we're going to start talking about different things that we can do together. In the new magazine, we're doing an escape room for teens.
Oh, I heard
And
about that.
So Raquel's already,
Really
she got the
excited
flyer
about
like a
that.
week ago. The school district is helping also to advertise it over at Chaparral and the independent
Where is
studies
it
and
actually
everything.
going to be staged?
At Ventura. But we're going to meet here and then we're going to drive them.
Oh, right, that's right. You said
Yeah,
at
and
the one in
we got a
Ventura.
group discount, and we're not charging anything for the staff or
That's
the
great.
fans. So I think this will be really good. We can only take 20 kids, so let's see who signs up first. There's an
What are the age
opportunity
range-
to expand
age
it
range
as
on that?
well. Sorry?
What are the age ranges on that?
Remember what's on the flyer? I think I said 12 to 17 or 11.
I want to say it was like teen or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, or height.
I think I included 12.
I think
I
so,
went from
yeah.
12 to 17, I believe
I
is
think
what it
so. I
was.
think it was that.
And that, you know what? It's right here.
I'm just curious.
It was a pretty wide range.
Yeah. I just have to find it. So it's it's going to be during President's Week. I wanted to pick a week where the kids were out of school, and so looking for something to do. So this was a unique opportunity, and it is ages 12 to 18. It's only $25, and it's going to be held on the Wednesday of February 19th, which is that week of President's Week that the kids are not in school.
My
So that'll
daughter
be a
will be
great
2 weeks
opportunity.
shy of 12 years old because her birthday's not till March 2nd, so she'll be bummed.
Aw. And just in case people are watching this video, that adult trip to Los Olivos is also has a maximum for participation. So that one's on April 18th. It's on a Saturday. And they're meeting at the Boyd Center, and we're transporting them by city vans. And that will be fun because it's a whole historical view of Fess Parker Vineyard and then Los Olivos and going around town, and they get a private wine tasting and an education of the whole family and the history and this and that. So it'll be unique. Okay.
Sorry.
So we plan on doing a lot of more teen activities, which will be great.
So you mentioned here career development. Is there anything?
So that's just a goal for the next year. I mean, I could tell you what I have in mind now, but it probably wouldn't be right to put it out there without talking to
Okay.
our teen council and advisory. And about it first. I know exactly what I want to do, but yeah.
Okay, because I know we
out there right now.
we got close to having something like this last year and then didn't. And so it'd be great if we can kind of pick this up,
Yeah.
now, because it takes a long time to get stuff to happen.
Career development also, yeah, it's something that would be nice to also share with the schools, and but it's not just here in Ojai. There's a lot of career development for the teens of other things that are going around. There's a big youth summit that they have in Simi Valley once a year, and it's huge, and I don't believe that they've participated. So it's other things like that, not just the city, but really encouraging our youth to take advantage of the things that are out there.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Sorry. So number 3, you mentioned the concussion training, but there's also this mandated reporter for independent. What is that?
Yeah, it's a mandated reporters. It means that you're mandated to report suspect of child abuse.
Okay.
Where am I? Number 5. Build program tournaments and leagues for families that will enhance the overall operation of Sarzati Park and will be inclusive of all cultural and economic groups. And that's a lot with sports, and that's something, it's a very wide span of what we could do to encourage and enhance the programs that are already offered. So it's really just touching on sports and building.
I have to ask, clearly we try to reach all the economic groups by making it affordable for everyone, but at what point are we not all-inclusive of cultural? I mean, why is it necessary to bring it up?
It's just mentioning, it's just backing up that everything that we think about will still continue to be cultural and economic with economic groups and affordable.
Okay.
Number 6, increase our program offerings with all programs with the goal of 25% increase by the end of the summer. So that means we're going to put a lot more summer programs into the catalog. That's what that means. A lot more specialty camps. Oh, and the other thing.
Now, are those in that catalog that just came out? Is that 25%
No,
represented?
this is just winter.
Oh, that's winter.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
well,
sorry.
the spring, they'll come in out around April. The spring, summer is combined together. And it'll be that one that everybody sees those new camps. New in this program guide, which actually is part of my rec report, but I can go sideways on it. We're actually doing a spring camp. We're going to do an all-day spring camp. The first week of April, the kids are out of school, and it's the second week.
Technically, it's a second.
Yeah, so we're going to do an all-day day camp. That will
That's
really,
new.
yeah, that is new.
The
It'll be similar to the summer
Yeah,
camp that we
like
do.
daycare, basically for working parents too, that can come. they'll
Yeah,
have an
but we
opportunity
like
to
it structured activities, so we don't really call it
call it
daycare.
daycare. But I mean, that's a huge time when a lot of parents
Need it.
It's hard. They have that break in February and then another break in April, and it does cause a burden on them.
Yeah, because a lot of parents are
Okay.
still working, and the spring breaks they're not all the same. So you could have one kid that's going to one district or one private school, and they're all different. So it's nice to be able to offer something if the parents need it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
So the goal of increasing the offerings, that's like increasing the number of offerings or participation?
Number of
programs.
offerings, right.
So
And-
25% more programs?
Like what's
That's really
what's
impressive.
motivating that? Like, is there a concern that we just don't have enough, or?
We've had public has expressed that they're just looking for more things. I can give you an example. We're going to be hosting golf camps at Soul Park, and we just worked that out last week. So it'll be stuff like that, just really enhancing and utilizing everything that we have in the, especially locally.
And
I don't know
those,
if I'll
like,
reach that.
hiking
That may have been a
camps-
little high, but specialty camps they've been asking for it. They asked for it last summer. They've been asking it for years, and we only have a few. So
And they sell out. right?
Uh-huh.
Like the hiking camp, I
Right.
noticed was like the next day, it was full.
right.
So would it be the same, just more of? Is that a possibility to add the same?
No,
or are
it's
we
going to
limited?
be definitely. We want to put different opportunities out there. Like, I mean, I don't want to give it all away, but
Okay.
we already offer a cooking camp. There's probably going to be a cupcake camp. There might be a hiking camp. There might be other things like
Okay.
that.
So
Different
it's a
science
staff-
camps.
Or it's a contractor increase and not a staff increase?
Right,
to cover
correct.
this?
It's all on contract, so we can't lose.
Yeah, and I do think, I mean, the hiking outdoor camp always sells out super fast. Like if there's a way to add more of that or more like that, it seems like that there's a lot of interest in that.
Yeah,
'cause
it
that's the
really
one
is.
that sells
My
out.
children
So-
both wanted to do it, and it just wasn't available.
It's not on the, it was part of my recreation report, but you should know that Wilderness, Ventura Wild pulled away from us.
Oh,
So anything that we do outdoors is going to have to be done by ourselves.
Or a
another group
different
hasn't stepped
contractor.
up?
Yeah, and another group, well, this just happened last week. We've been so busy trying to get this brochure out.
Oh, that's disappointing. They were popular.
Yeah,
Well, maybe someone else will
Um,
step up and
yeah.
provide it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna leave a gap. There will be another, and maybe Ventura Wild, maybe they will, Wilderness will decide to contract with us. So that's also an opportunity. Number 7, increase our indoor rentals at the Boyd Center and add weekend gymnastics parties. So they are both new. Actually, the inside parties at the Boyd Center are not new. They've been doing them for years, but they have not done one, according to staff, in 4 years.
What,
So
can
we
you
brought them
clarify
back.
what that means?
So the multi-purpose room you can rent. So we had a Sweet
For the-
16 2 weeks ago.
Like skee ball is and stuff? Or the air hockey thing?
No, the multi-purpose room where we do the movies.
Oh, where we do the movie. Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
So that fits around 100 people. We have tables and chairs, and we had a Sweet 16 2 weekends ago on a Saturday night, and they had around 185 people that attended, and it's a great offering for people who don't want to do it at their house, who don't want to pay for a hotel, and the community centers should be offering, and it's indoors, and they can do sound. So, and we have a monitor there at all times. Our first party went really, really well
And
2 weekends
it
ago.
includes the tables and the chairs.
Correct.
That's
Yeah,
great.
and it's only $85 an hour. And if you're a nonprofit, there's a discount for that. So,
That's great.
yeah.
And if you're a commissioner, is a discount?
Double. That's great.
Oh, and then birthday parties, gymnastics, that's brand new. It's something that Vicky, our full-time specialist, has wanted to do, and her staff, thank you, Raquel, I mean, her staff is awesome, and they really take ownership of what they do. And so Vicky and I got together, and we're like, well, if we're doing parties over here, why don't we have some Saturdays available, some.
Okay.
And so why don't we allow the public to do birthday parties for the kids?
They
I
can
mean,
use the gymnastic equipment at the parties.
Exactly.
And there'd be an instructor there.
That is really great, especially for that younger age group when they're still having, that's
Yeah.
really a great, innovative way to use the
Yeah,
space.
we're excited about it. So the advertisement's in the new brochure for that too.
And how much is that?
Actually, we did not list the price. So it is cheaper than, we definitely did our research, and we wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be more than like Monarch Gym or something like that. So
Do they do those fees, I assume, too?
So expensive.
yeah, they're very, very expensive. So being Rec and Parks, I mean, our mission is to be affordable but quality. And we definitely have that quality going with our gymnastics program, and the expertise is there and the professionalism. So, and they're so kind. It's just going to be great. So I can't wait for we're going to open it up. People can call now for reservations, but I believe that we're not accepting reservations till like March, April. Only because the gymnastics program is going on through then. Basketball, sorry, is going on right now.
Oh, yeah, on the weekends. And they'll get it for like 2
And
hours.
we only
or
have so
something.
much space. Yeah, it's going to be a 2-hour birthday party, and they can also have the option to use. There's an outside area, kind of right outside my office at the Boyd Center, but it's a narrow kind of hallway, but it's outside, and we can fit tables and chairs and everything if they want to have a pizza party or something like that.
In
So
between the
there's-
two buildings.
Yeah, so there's a corridor out there, an outdoor corridor. So it gives them the
Like eat in the
opportunity
gym
to
and
also
stuff.
come out of the gym and then go ahead and enjoy pizza or cake or whatever it is that they want to get.
That's great.
Yeah, and then we also have another option if it rains, so that's good. It'll be fun. We're really looking forward to seeing what we can offer to the community for that. And number 8, grow the number of partnership agreements and foster improved community relationships with the Ojai Unified School District with the overall intent of providing a wider variety of athletic opportunities for participants. So that can go many, many ways, and we can talk about, this is an entire fiscal year. So, all right, number 9, we already talked about. That was Hope of Ojai. And the last one is to increase recruitment and retention of aquatic staff in order to increase aquatic programming. We already know now that we're not going to, Nordoff High School will not be available. So we will only have one pool, hopefully, available for this, meaning hopefully we can use that pool again. So we'll have limited programming offered, but there's different ways. We had problems with recruiting lifeguards this year, and there's other ways with our swim team and with other agencies that we're planning on partnering up with to really help the recruitment effort, and also to offer more like junior lifeguard program and aqua camp. We can still do this only with one pool. I really believe that we can, and Allison is on board with it, so you'll have to just wait and see.
And that's the Villanova is the one pool,
Correct.
and they're on board.
Allison will confirm that with them.
Okay.
Is this, are you doing, or is Allison doing the CPR and AED training? Or
I am.
You are going to do it?
But she's, so one of her goals is to become lifeguard training and then lifeguard training instructor. And the desire would be before summer so that she can help me with the training.
Yeah, that'd be helpful. Okay. And do we offer those do we hold
We
those?
do.
consecutive
Okay, so
days?
do you want me to, I'll just go to the rec report.
Any other
Or-
questions?
Well, actually, there is something else I need to discuss, but
Okay.
you might as well, if you don't mind, Susie, we can jump a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we
It's
have
the
this
recreation
beautiful
program events.
activity guide. It's a little bit different, so I hope you like the change. Staff is really excited about everything new in here, and everything you'll see is, there's a lot of things that are new. And you asked me, the reason I pulled this magazine,
CPR training for the
right,
public.
so we're actually offering a CPR class.
Okay.
And Renee, who, not myself, but there's another Renee Rapp who she's the manager during the summer of the aquatics program. And we hope that she's going to continue for many more years. And she's actually the one that's teaching this new CPR class. So it'll be her first one offered to the public.
When is that? Oh.
That is, it's on page 18, and it's February 24th. It's from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
That's great.
And then new in this program guide, we also have the rattlesnake avoidance training, because rattlesnakes start coming out in April. So that's going to be on May 16th. And we're actually, for the first time, we're going to use Dally Ranch Park. It's a little park, but there's only, or Daly.
I think you're right. You
But-
probably do pronounce it
Because it doesn't have the
correctly.
I.
Yeah.
But there's only 1 or 2 people coming at one time. It's not an impact to the
It's
park
for
at
dogs,
all.
correct?
Correct. But this company, they're a wilderness company, and this is what they specialize in.
That's great.
And they do it all over California, and they're really good at it. And so that's new, and
That park is so beautiful and
yeah, it
it's
is.
just- It's just like a
It
little
is.
gem there. In that
We actually I noticed that it wasn't on the website. So we had our staff, Megan went ahead and put a picture and went ahead and added it to our website, which is
It's
nice.
lovely.
We're offering a new self-defense class, Aikido. It's more than you don't throw the people around, you use them to move them aside. So that's new. And then watercolor landscape. That's a brand new program. Patty Van Dyke is a very well-known artist in the Ojai community, in the Ojai Valley. And so she'll be starting that class up. You know, we always try to add new programs to everything. Floor hockey, that's going to be new. That's going to be in the multipurpose room. And then if you look on page 6, you'll see all the special events. So we're doing, of course, the adult day trip that we already spoke about with Los Olivas, the dog day rattlesnake training. The Ojai Ghost Tour, we're actually using the trolley. And they are going
That is
through the
great.
creek. And it's going to be a very unique, probably one-time experience. So that's on March 28th. We're excited, of course, about that because they always fill up. And then we're also doing a President's Day week and a spring break tennis camp.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, and then see the nice advertising. You'll see really nice for the spring break all-day camp. Of course, we're going to approach the school district. They're really good at letting us advertise, and so this will be a great opportunity for the parents. And that's our new magazine. It smells because it just came in, and that's why Megan just dropped it off to us. So you'll have your reading tonight.
That's great. I'm happy to see the movie night. Those are really,
Yeah, our movie night went
Popular?
really well. We had 30,
be able to attend, or you have one more year?
35, 36.
January,
Eldest.
right?
Oh, yeah, I guess
35.
won't be
Oh.
able to attend.
Well, we've got January 24th.
Our last, the movie night that
Can't wait to-
was
My kids will
2
be
weeks
there.
ago, we had 35, 36.
That's great.
It was
My
it
kids
was
really, really like it.
Yeah.
Really do.
My daughter does
It
too.
was a nice turnout.
Thank you for this.
Looks
Skipped,
good.
went a little bit out of order,
all
but
right.
yeah, the staff is really excited about what they're doing. So
Yeah, it's exciting to hear all the new stuff in here. So,
nice.
yeah.
Do you want to continue on with this pickleball update, and then we can circle back to the fees last?
Pickleball update is that they just did the first overlay last week.
Oh, great.
So I believe that we've got one done in between the rain, and so that's really exciting. The Ojai Pickleball Club is about to submit their letter and they're asking less than they thought they were going to ask. We thought we needed 5,000, and it looks like he's only identifying 3,800, so it's a little bit less. So that's happening.
Great.
And that's from
And-
the Civic Association, the letter.
I believe that's who they're
putting it
going
out
to
to
approach.
several, right? Or are they starting at the
They're
Civic?
starting with the
Okay.
Civic.
Okay. And the wilderness program?
That was that news.
Okay. Great.
Any reason?
Yeah.
The email, they sent out an email, just said, we've expanded, we've moved past, and, they want to, they're just reaching out privately, as a private contractor.
So they're going to be doing the same thing, just not through us.
Correct.
Right.
And we will make sure by summer to do, we're going to have to find, it might not be a big contract, it may be a park ranger. We're going to find somebody to do a few wilderness type programs as well.
Great.
Because, again, being with Park and Rec, it's the opportunity to be affordable.
Right. Okay. And the Commissioner Appreciation Dinner for December 13th?
Correct. Don't let, we have to take a picture
Better
at
put
the
that
end
in my
tonight.
calendar.
And thank you for RSVPing to the city, to Luis, who sent you the email most likely. Whether you can be there or not, I know for sure there's going to be a DJ, and if you
It's
want
more
to
than
dance,
just this
it's at the
commission,
golf.
correct? It's
Correct.
all the
It's all the commissions. And it's going to be at Soul Park, so it would be great to see you there. I hope you can all attend.
I'm putting it in my phone now. There we go. So I'll forget. And you want to talk about the discussion items, Part B, Sarasota Park staff recommendations for facility fee increase and refund policy.
So, this is something, we're not meeting again until February, and we have a few members absent tonight. And for the minutes, Patrick is absent tonight.
Yes.
And so it's just a discussion and for you to think about it. We'll bring it back in February.
Okay.
But here, we can just, I'll let you pass this down. So the recommendations are there are 4 steps here. The first one is for a $1.50 increase to all sport fields, hourly and light fees. As you know, 2 years ago, we went energy clean. And so we pay for staying energy clean. I believe there's another terminology for that. But we're paying at least 20% more because we are doing right, because we are green. So, and we are way under, as you can see under the discussion items, I put a comparison: City of Ventura, Oxnard, Rancho Simi, Pleasant Valley, Caneo Park and Rec, and City of Santa Barbara. You can see we're pretty much the cheapest. So with light fees as well. So that's why we're only asking to consider maybe a $1.50 increase. The second one is to adopt an hourly rate for the snack bar. So if you look on the second page,
Wait, I'm sorry, on A, what are we paying, what do they pay now? What are we increasing from?
so on the very last sheet that you have, those are our facilities and
Oh,
services.
okay.
So it has 4 fees on it, but basically it's $12 an hour.
An hour, okay.
But there's different levels, depending on if you're nonprofit and or for-profit, or you have a 501(c), and there are different levels. And in February we can get more precise of what we're talking about. But definitely, please, thank you for using the facility and services sheet so you can see what we're currently offering. And lights as well, you'll see.
So our fees
The lights are
currently-
only 18. Yeah, they're $10 an hour.
And that
And
would be like
everybody
for, like,
else
the
is
softball
charging
fields or-
12, 25, 20. It's like, or 30, 25, 26, 23. We're pretty low, and we're not recapping. We haven't made adjustments to this, the facility and fees, the master fee schedule, since 2017.
Excuse me.
kind of a technical thing, but it makes sense. But I think it'd be worth asking someone on staff, like facilities, like what it actually costs to operate our lights, or
Exactly.
maybe have.
Yeah, we're going, yeah,
Okay.
definitely. So we'll be able to come back with that in February.
Okay.
The Sarzati snack bar, I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's where the fields are, or where the softball fields are, and it's this tall 2-story building, and there used to be an observation tower on top. And on the bottom, there's a kitchen. It's a full-service kitchen. The clubs they haven't used them for years. They don't use them for concessions anymore. And last year, the rec manager leased it out to a caterer for the most of the year until we started summer with our camps, with our our cooking camps and stuff. And then she did not use the facility, of course, during the summer, because only one person. It's not a co-op. Only one person can be in there at one time. And currently, as you'll see, our fees are only $250 to $300 for that building. Well, we had to do repairs on the freezer, the refrigerator. We had to put $700 into an ice filter that has to be replaced every year. And then a deep cleaning of $350. So there's many other fees that for $250 a month, it's just not paying what we have to put out. So organizations listed on here are ones that we compared for kitchen fees that have the same utilities, have the same equipment available to people like caterers that want to be able to do kitchens. And one of them was a co-op summit kitchen in Ventura, where they have 3 setups. So they have 3 freezers, 3 refrigerators, 3. They're basically 3 kitchens put into one room, and that's why it's called a co-op. But that one's $20 to $25 an hour, and they take a deposit of $500 to $1,000. Fillmore Recreation Department is a lot less. It's not exactly like our kitchen, but it's $100 a day. Oakview County Park is $10 to $15 an hour, and all of these have deposits. And then Rancho Simi is around $154 or $192.50. That's just for Oak Park. There's a Simi facility. It's a little bit more for their kitchen. So really just I can see where there's a typo in here. Fiscal impact got moved to the right on the report on the front page or the second page. But it's really to think about how we can just cover our costs, for the maintenance fees. And so that's something to consider. And that was number 2. So the recommendation was to adopt an hourly rate for snack bar of $20 per hour if under 50 hours. And then if over 50 hours, it's only $15 an hour. So you're giving a little bit of a discount there. And then also to put into the contracts that they have to pay for a service cleaning fee based on our currently it's $350 is what she charged to do a deep cleaning of the kitchen last time. So it'll be around $350. It's whatever our contract is with our service cleaning people for the city. But that has to be with every rental, because we can't, the health department inspects it once a year, and it has to be pristine. We have to be able to meet,
The requirements.
satisfactory requirements for the health department. So anyway, that's why that was brought up.
Yeah, and has there been interest in, aside from whoever was using it previously, has there been interest in using
No.
it?
No, but I don't believe that we couldn't rent it out to anybody else. It's really can only be rented out to one person at a time because they keep everything in there. So it has to be a lease agreement with one person.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that they stopped in summer, because so that we could do our camps in summer. The third one is to implement on all rentals a deposit, meaning the indoor ones too, the indoor rentals. So 40%, you'll see the deposit information. I believe only on the kitchen one. So we can actually do, I mean, deposits are always, they're either $300 or they're $400, or they're 40%. And I like going the 40% because if you only have a $125 rental, I don't want to spend, I'm not going to leave a $300 deposit. So then it's only like, $26 or $72. And it's refundable.
And how do you process the refunds? How timely? What's the policy going to be?
Well, currently, they're taking park deposits and they're not entering them, which we're probably going to change that. They just give you your check right back again.
Oh, so you don't know that the check's even any good?
Correct. So that's the current policy, and that's something that I'm not comfortable with, so we're going
Just
to
asking
probably
because
change it.
Normally you would, you could take a credit card, or you would charge it and then issue a refund. There's fees involved, but if they do it through the city, it's something to consider because there's probably a 2-week turnaround with it.
There is, and everybody has a 2-week turnaround.
But something that should be in the policy so the public knows that they're not
Yeah,
going to
no,
be
of
paid,
course.
right then.
Right. With credit card, it usually goes faster. It can be done like 2 or 3 days. If they pay by check, it's going to take, it depends on where they are on the check processing or the check cuts with the city, with the finance department, but it could be a week, it could be 2 weeks. It depends on where you fall. And yeah, on all the paperwork that we have for the rentals or the indoor rentals, it says on there when they'll get their, it always asks for them to wait 2 weeks. And it also says that, that's our current policy that we do with all kinds of refunds. Any refund for a class, for art class, anything. If you need money back for something, give it 2 weeks. So that's already a standard policy.
Okay.
And the last one,
The-
we don't have a,
Sorry.
go ahead.
On the deposits, I recognize that a lot of the purpose of a deposit is just kind of a deterrent from damage.
It's
But
a cleaning damage deposit.
how often do we have
Problems?
problems? Exactly.
I don't have that number for the outdoor parks, because currently they take deposits. And since I've been here, I've heard of 2 that they haven't returned.
Who's in charge of determining that the,
Management, so
Okay.
Allison and I, and maintenance also with Public Works, on a Monday after following an event, or if we get a police report during the weekend, it will all, that will determine whether they're getting their deposit back or not. Sometimes there was a few times glasses left out. There's broken glass everywhere, and so usually we wait until we inspect the facility, the grounds, so they can't just automatically get it back. I mean, it takes us, the staff, at least 1 day to check out the facility to make sure like there was no damage and this and that. And it's especially when you have extra maintenance costs coming in to pick up that glass, to pick up the popcorn, to pick up the confetti and the everything that goes along, with piñatas. There's a lot there.
And do the deposits, I don't know what they're currently, but do they cover, is it enough to cover that cost if that happens? Like if we have to send out staff to?
Yeah, it's usually just like it's usually 2 hours of extra staff. But the indoor rentals, my experience with it is usually all the weddings, quinceaneras, birthday parties, baby showers, they're all getting them back, unless they stay extra time. And then the monitor has to stay extra. We're also, we've allowed alcohol in the past. And we have agreed and with the police department that we're making arrangements right now with, I have a contract coming tomorrow from a security company. So if they're going to have alcohol inside, even though it's been allowed in the past, I felt more comfortable having a security guard. So they're going to have to pay, it's not bad, it's $35 an hour. So they're going to have to pay for a security guard and the monitor, and that way the facility's safe. But that's how all the indoors are
indoor?
done, to make it only on the indoor.
And no alcohol in the outdoors?
Currently, there is alcohol in the outdoors, and that's the way that the park policy has maintained. And
why are you feeling differently indoor versus, I'm just curious, what's the...
because the indoor, it's worth more. They set our kitchen on fire, or they ruin the floor, or they damage the walls by putting their posters up. They don't use command strips. There's so many things that can go wrong inside.
Okay.
So we don't, anyway, so the cancellation policy, and again, I'm sorry on this typo on the right-hand side, but notice, this is just my recommendation, that it's kind of a tiered system. So that more than 6 months' notice, you get 75% back. And then it's because we can't rent it after these people have canceled. And then less than 30 days notice, it's a 25%. And then, of course, a full refund will always be given, for weather conditions, or if for some reason the city has to, do something with the room, or a roof collapses. I mean, like extremes, happens. But it's a nice tiered system, so that people are aware and they treat our facility nicely.
Okay.
And the good thing about the indoor rentals, as you can see in the program guide, we advertise that with the birthday parties, and we're doing that. A separate account was created for the Boyd Center for this multipurpose room, so that we could hopefully develop revenues that will help pay to renovate it. The floor needs replacing, the stage needs replacing. So in time we can do that, which we're really looking forward to.
So those revenues can be kept separate from the city
Yeah,
fund?
and they're part of the city fund, but the finance director I had asked him if we could do a separate account for that, and the city manager and everybody agreed that we could keep those accounts separate. It's still part of the city fund, but we could track them. We could identify them and what's been put in.
Mm-hmm.
It might take us 4, 5, 7 years. May only take us 2 years. The advertisement first came out in the last magazine, and we've already had 4 calls for rentals. We had to turn 3 away because they all wanted alcohol. We weren't starting right away with alcohol. But it takes some time to investigate, and then we found out that there was some alcohol. So in the past, years ago, but it's all it's all trial and error. We'll see how it goes.
Great.
Cool.
Thank you.
So in February, are you going to have
We'll bring this back.
proposed fees or?
Yeah, we'll bring this back, and then we'll also have documentation on electricity,
Okay.
what those lights are really costing us out in the field, and what being green is really costing us. And it was an estimate that it's 20% more than it was 2 years ago when this policy was written. Or not the policy, the fees. The fees were approved by council. And I think we've covered it. Actually, my rec report, we've covered most of it, but basketball starts this Saturday. And the school district did one skate night a month back, and it was really successful. I believe I think there were like 45 kids that signed up, and they had a vendor, and they were giving away, oh my God, they were giving away something. I can't remember what they were throwing to the kids. But it was really successful, and so I offered to partner with them if we wanted to do a future skate event. And so they really wanted to do that, and then we could do more vendors. Freihoff, before he leaves he promised that he has a connection for somebody who has helmets, that he pretty sure that that they're actually cool looking helmets that they can provide to us for the next event that we could give away for free. So there's a lot of opportunities that we could do working together for a skate night.
Great, thank you. Okay, Commissioner, committee reports and comments. Does anyone present have anything to report on the 6 different committees listed?
No.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Oh, great, thank you. I don't see our city council liaison for any communication. So we will move on to future meetings to remind everyone that we are dark in January. And short of any other discussion, I will adjourn the meeting and
The next meeting is February 6th.
till
scheduled.
February 6th of 2020.
Oh, just a question on the police department. Is somebody
I anticipated him coming
Inviting-
tonight, but
them to the meeting?
Yes, actually.
I talked to
Yeah.
Jason tonight, just
Okay.
before we came
James,
here.
he said he was gonna-
And he said that he was under the impression, he was going to the shelter to facilitate that event, and that he anticipated the chief coming to
Okay.
say farewell, but something perhaps might have happened that he
Sure.
wasn't able to,
Pending calls for service.
yes, duty called. Okay, and it's 6:51. Thank you.
Right.
Somebody turn the camera off so we can
Yes, yes, yes. The note taker has to be taking notes.
They must use it often to leave it, right?
Yeah.